The stream is live.
Ooh.
And a few minutes late, but I'm doing it from my phone because today we got a bunch of stuff going on. One thing I wanted to do is the oil pump for that Poulan Pro saw that we had last week came in yesterday. So I'd like to install that, throw some oil in it. I got it running good. Hopefully we can get it running, oiling. My neighbor. Who's echoing? I hear echoing.
That was me with the phone.
Yeah, I don't think I've got it. I got the chat up, but I closed it back up again.
All right. So now I'm actually in the shop. What do you got going on still?
I am. Yesterday, I changed the transmission fluid on my van, and it was epic. Let me tell you. Of course, I've watched a YouTube video, so I'm an expert. You know what I mean? But the most challenging thing was getting the pan itself, which has about 2 liters of fluid. And I already seen enough videos of people spilling this everywhere. So I had a big wide pan, and I pulled it out just so, turn it 90 degrees, drop it down, didn't spill a drop. You know, I was like, oh man. And then I eventually just pushed the pan out from under the van because I got to do something else to get out of my way. And I roll over on my stomach, and I feel this like warm, wet feeling on my left foot. And of course, I'm wearing my safety Crocs, and my toe just went right in the pan full of the old transmission fluid. It was classic, let me tell you. But no, it's done. It was kind of a challenge, but got that taken care of.
How many quarts in that thing?
It's 9 liters.
Wow.
And it's a bunch. And the way the pan is, you can only get about 2 liters, maybe 2.5 liters out of the pan. And then you have to take out a drain bolt on the torque converter, which means you have to spin the engine over, you know, to get that little bolt to show out through the little hole. And so I took out the plug, and like nothing really happened. A few drops came out. So I keep on doing other things. And I finally come back and look at it with a flashlight, and I can see there's fluid in there, but it's like surface tension. So I took a blade of grass and poked it up in there to break the surface tension. And I got another 6 quarts out of the torque converter, or 6 liters. It was crazy. So anyway, it was a mess.
Yeah, but 9 is almost 2.5 gallons. So
that's the size of my
a lot of fluid.
2.5 gallons. Yeah, that's 10 liters basically. Yeah, mine is 9. On what? The Camry that you're driving?
Well, no, I'm saying my ultrasonic tank here is a 9-liter ultrasonic tank.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought Klaus was talking about his car. Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, everything on that thing is big.
That's good. A lot of oil is good. I mean,
yes. It's got 13 liters of oil. That's next as soon as I get my oil bypass filter in. They hadn't shipped that yet. Okay. They're like sort of made to order. And that's on my list. And then I'm knocking stuff off my list pretty quickly. So
let's see.
Yep.
When
is what date is your takeoff for the trip?
I am hoping to take off the beginning of July. That's what I'm hoping to do.
Okay.
And we'll be, you know, gone. 2 months. I'm anticipating being gone 2 months. So anyway.
I can't see much of the chat on my phone here. For some reason, it's giving me all kinds of messages and stuff, and it's blocking half the chat.
Yeah, how come it says not new to StreamYard or looking?
Thing coming up on my screen, it says $ share your referral link. So I didn't know what the hell it was, so I clicked it. So maybe it's an advertisement, I guess, from Stream.
No, it's an advertisement. Here, let me see if I can post the link in there. So, Control C.
Hold on. Who else?
Oh no, I can't. Ah, crap! I lost the chat. Now I'm gonna have to open up the video again. Yikes! Ouch.
Hey.
Hello.
Bruce, how you doing today?
Great, thank you.
Keep in mind, guys, in StreamYard, 6 people. I think people coming up will be throwing people up and throwing people down. Stella is.
Hi, Anita.
Stella's the co-moderator.
Say hi, Anita.
I'm on my. So Stella will be doing the down like that.
Sorry, Ken.
All right, we weren't listening to you, Ken. We were looking at Anita.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Sorry.
Oh, see, yeah, my phone. You guys are about the size of a postage stamp. Not even. What I missed. Take still photos.
No, Anita just came in with some toffee fee thingies for me. Nice.
What's Randy asking here?
Yikes. Randy, here's the answer to your question. Yes, because what's happening is because it's a front wheel drive and you mow around, you're kind of pushing down all the time. So the front wheel drives tend to slip a lot worse than they do if you had a rear wheel drive mower, because as you're pushing down the back of the mower and raising up the front. So yeah.
I have a tip for front drive though. I did this to my mother's Honda. I got an old BMX tire from like the junkyard on a bicycle, and you get a new one too. Tires aren't that expensive for bicycles.
Right.
I cut off a strip equal to the circumference, about 1.5 inches wide, and I took 4 tech screws and I screwed in the tread. It's been on my mother's mower for 10 years.
Yeah.
And still like brand
That's a
new.
good idea.
It's BMX from like a BMX bicycle, and it works great.
Right.
Great.
Not that hard plastic stuff.
James Conlon said, as questioning, back on StreamYard, tell him why.
Yes, that's so I can help, James. That's so I can help.
Yeah, you can't do I still have the Restream, but you can't have a co-moderator in Restream unless you pay for the optional. It's like $150 more. So I asked StreamYard, look, I said, I'm a good, representative for you and all that, and I'll plug you. But it'd be nice to have a co-host on the package because I pay for it. I pay for the 10-person package. It'd be nice to have a co-host. The problem happens is when I go on Restream with 10 people, it's hard to just do it myself, especially like today. I want to do some live stuff, and without having a co-moderator, it's not as fun. That's all.
Yeah.
Bruce, what are you working on?
Blade adapter.
Uh-oh.
Poulan Pro mower with a
what?
Honda engine, older. The
Sweet.
5 little stars have been peeled off because he hit something. Can I still use this if I use a different blade with the 3/8 hole? I think so.
No, I wouldn't.
Okay.
You risk the blade spinning on it.
Yeah.
True, but half the Murray
unless you can
machines just use a what's that? Belden washer? No, what's that?
Bellevue
washer.
Yeah.
But
right.
Bellevue is a hospital in New York City.
Some of them,
right.
Some models have some of them have a fiber disc, Bruce, between the blade and the boss.
Oh.
If you can find one of those and put that in between, it'll work.
Yeah,
I mean, I didn't mean right now.
Where did that ever come from, Bill? What sitcom was that? Oh, I'm going to send you to Bellevue.
Yeah.
What was
Well,
that?
would this be it? It's
I
in
don't
two
remember.
pieces now. It's in 2 pieces now. It doesn't look fibrous to me.
Can you make him bigger still?
No,
I'm sorry.
They're bigger. I mean, some models they have it.
Easy.
It covers the
Got to
circumference.
slow down. I got to click like 2 things.
There you go.
That's my problems all the time. That
It
came off. Looks like
yeah,
it's split, eh?
Bruce, the fiber ones, they cover the circumference of the boss.
Oh, okay. That came off behind the blade.
The thing is, you got to have something to stop it from slipping so much off that'll fly off and cut your foot off.
Yeah.
It's not my mower.
Hey, good point. Hey.
Okay.
Okay. Well, it's not expensive. It's about $30 for a new one.
Yeah. Oh, but I can see James is out here. Let's give him some credit. I think he's a new channel. It's not too big, is it?
Right.
James Condon? No, yeah. But we'll give him some credit anyways. I had a James Condon moment. I had a James Condon moment today.
Yeah, well, your shirt screen.
You know the spring on the Honda GCVs where you hook them on to the governor arm. There are 2 holes. I never figured out what the other hole was for, but I accidentally put it in the wrong hole today.
So
and no, it doesn't hunt. It just runs like crap. Because that governor keeps overcompensating. So you put it in the other hole, smooth out. I mean, so thanks, James.
Yeah, the closer you get to center, the more sensitive it is.
Yeah. But yeah, worked great. And I got thinking of it. Why is it running so crappy? I just cleaned the carb. It's a regular Honda GCV, right? Why is it running so crappy? It was hunting just a little bit, and it was sputtering a little bit, and thought maybe it's a bad carb or something. And then I went to look at I got my James Condon moment and said, hey, I've heard something about crappy running engines. If you move that one, it may help. Well, it did. So good stuff.
So correct me if I'm wrong. This is a similar one. Whoop. Right? It's still got the star on there. Oops. Right? This one is off of a Briggs engine, which is the standard measurement. And this one's off a Honda, which is metric. And it's about a millimeter difference.
Yeah.
Because the Honda has the different size shaft, right? It's got a metric shaft.
Yep.
Well, 25 versus 1 inch, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you got to be careful when you're ordering them, guys.
0.4 of a millimeter difference.
It's quite a bit because I can't stick. I tried sticking this one on and it wouldn't
bang it on if you want. But I'm never
I'm not a farmer. No offense to farmers out there.
I apologize.
Yeah, I've had them where I couldn't take them off because they were banged on so hard. Oh.
Yeah. There's a lot of good videos with blade adapter removals out there.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, most times the air chisel will do it for me.
Oh yeah, I like that.
Most times.
Most time what?
The air chisel will do it for me.
Most
the blood.
The plug. Yeah. Put a bolt in. I have a whole assortment of bolts in different lengths, 8 millimeter, because they all fit in there, and then I drilled a little seat for the chisel, and I just go to town, and you can walk it off. It's really nice. I use that for removing flywheels as well, if I can. It's not all that you can do that with, but it's really good.
As a screen, so I could see you.
Yeah, you want to see us, Kenny.
Now, my phone, you guys literally, you're about maybe 1 centimeter by 2 centimeter. That's about it.
And here I washed and combed my hair and everything. And
not me.
Well, hygiene is important, Klaus.
I've been home for 3 weeks and I haven't shaved.
Now he can hear us, but he can't see us.
Yeah,
exactly. Mrs. Pender.
Hey, Trudy.
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah, I just put the link out there.
Go finish the garden, my dear. I'm online.
Whoa.
Yeah, careful there. Your lunch is in jeopardy
for
the next week.
It's a joint process. There's always something getting done, and it's usually her.
You're doing the joint, and she's doing the process. Is that how it goes? Yeah.
This year, I'm pulling the weeds before I plant.
Got snow on the ground still, Bruce?
No, sir. It was all gone in a couple of days.
Oh, yeah? Good.
That sure woke everybody up. The phone started ringing. Oh, my God. It's the last snowstorm of the year. Get my mower fixed.
Well, as long as they're bringing them by, that's good.
I'm saying today I've been filming a video today with a little clipper mower that gives me a bit of a run around. Doesn't matter. And I'm telling you, 4 times from 10 till 4 times I was interrupted by neighbors dragging stuff in. This one sounds funny. This one smells funny. This one won't start. This one's, it's like, okay, let me have a look at it. I'll throw everything to the side and have a look at it.
Yeah.
I did it 4 times without blowing a fuse. I am proud of myself.
Good job, mate.
Miracles happen every day.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, I think it's hard for people that don't get into doing stuff like this. They don't realize that, even though it's something you've done 100 times before, you still got to concentrate because you're going to miss something. You're going to forget to fill that oil back up or something like that.
Oh my gosh.
I know. I mean, it happens rarely for me because I usually say no, but sometimes a person will come with something really simple, say, I'll fix it right away. I mean, I can't talk and work at the same time. I can't do that.
Talk and chew gum.
Look at the advertisement for Hobby Motor.
Sorry.
Yeah, I know. I mean,
I had to turn on my fan. There you go.
Nice shirt, eh?
yeah, and yeah, exactly. Bruce, Stella, Kenny, check us in the mail. Thank you.
So, but you're right, Stella. This lawnmower right now is sitting over there without the oil in it.
That's right.
I really have. Yeah, that's when you have to concentrate. Somebody walks in off the alley or the street. You start talking to him. Watch this. It's going to start. And you start it without oil in it. Never happened to me.
Yeah, me. No, I've never done that.
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
You can't reach the shut-off button fast enough when that happens.
Well, I actually had a moment of doubt one time. I had delivered a lawnmower to somebody, and afterwards I got thinking, wait a minute, did I put oil in it? I drove back over there, pulled the thing out from under her house, and I checked it to make sure. It's like, because
I've done the same thing.
I think we all did that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, I've had a tractor started up, and it went and started right up. I said, "Oh, she's sounding good." Hey, dickhead, you forgot the oil.
Yeah, it's only going to sound good for so long.
Exactly.
You know, they're amazing. Like I've seen guys do videos where they take the oil out. It's an old flathead of some sort, right? And they stick it out there, and it takes 25 minutes to seize.
Yes.
The funny thing
which is a testament to me.
Yeah. And
it's actually the lack of coolant that kills it rather than the lack of oil.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah.
It's just pushing on a bearing on a shaft will last, right?
Yeah.
10 years.
I mean, I a couple of years ago, I redid an old horizontal 2-horse Briggs engine from 1970.
Oh.
I'm telling you, the bearing on it, the main shaft, and it looked brand spankling new.
Spankling?
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Because I can't say
Lost in
spanking.
translation. That's a Danish word.
Stop playing with your nut wax.
You know somebody's somebody's going to find that at some point and use it incorrectly.
I don't think it'll burn though. I think it'll be all right.
It'll be a little slippery. They stick well.
That's right.
Oh yeah.
So what you working on there, Ken?
I'm trying to clean up a little bit so I can bring that chainsaw in here and put the oil pump in it.
Oh, okay.
But right now I can't find places for different things, so I'm trying to clear off my workbench just so I got a box from the recycling bin, and I'm just throwing it in a box so I can put it in.
Yeah, just rake it all in a box.
That's it.
Basket case.
Well, that's what we used to do when I was growing up, and I always thought it was my fault, but I grew up in an environment where people are coming over, we just rake everything into a box, and then eventually that box goes away, then somebody else comes over and you rake a whole bunch of other stuff in another box and you put that box away. It's
my wife does
kind
that.
of funny, actually.
She'll take all the mails and the bills and all that stuff and throw them in like a bag, put the bag downstairs. I'm like, where's the mail? Where's the bills? And where's it? And we got to search for the bag so it's not late.
Just got a red notice from the city, honey. What's up?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oops.
I mean, that fee they charge you when you're late paying a bill, that's even worse than getting a parking.
Yeah, because it's a dummy charge.
Yeah.
I'll tell my wife, if I ever see a late charge, 10 lashes would have wet.
Yep.
For you or her?
I don't know. With a wet noodle? Sorry. I'll be right back.
Oops.
It's going to be one of those days, Hank. You know it.
Yeah. So Will says he had new gutters put in. I want to know what size gutters he put on, because I'm thinking of having new gutters too once they start working.
Bill's got a big house. He's upstate.
I just got mine done last fall.
Oh, yeah. How wide are they?
I think they're 4.5 or 5. They're pretty big.
Yeah, I want to go to the white one.
6-8 inches, big ones.
A good rainstorm will, they work better this year.
Yeah. Because the ones I get, just a little few leaves that pile in there, clog it up. And that's cleaning the gutters out, but
Yeah,
can't clean them every week,
right.
DNR, how you doing?
I did buy a high pressure nozzle that goes back down, all the way down.
Yeah, I got one too, but
you just get soaked.
yeah, you get soaked is right. It's not like they show on TV.
Yeah, right. The guy's in a tweed jacket.
Yeah. They have different sizes.
Well, don't mind me. I'm going to do a little more searching on the internet for this. I'm just going to be right back. I'm going to just minimize you.
You don't have a phone?
Me?
Yeah.
It's in the house, being charged up.
Okay. I was going to say.
I'll do it.
Uh-oh, what's Klaus got? Ice
I'm not
cream?
happy because I told the owner it would only be $80 for me to tune up her lawnmower, and now it's extend into the hundreds.
Oh. Hey, performance.
What's happening, guys? How are you? And ladies,
We are good.
ladies and gentlemen.
What
Ladies
do you got
and
growing on
gentlemen.
your face?
What was that?
What do you got growing on your face?
A couple of wisdom hairs are starting to come through.
Good.
I like the wisdom hair.
The spring sprint.
Yeah, there you go.
April stress brings gray hairs.
Well, I must be under a lot of stress.
Yeah.
Me too.
We had a couple of crazy customers, couple of crazy machines, and life. So be it. I had this
Welcome to spring in the small engine shop.
Yeah. I had I don't know if you guys remember, I bought a bunch of lawnmowers in the middle of winter, and one of them was a running, driving Honda. Nothing wrong with it. I just got a good deal, and it needed a little paint, to make it look, nice. So that's exactly what I did. And finished it, put it up for sale, put it away for winter, and then go to sell it, put gas in it, fires right up, it runs phenomenal. Now, grass isn't really growing at our yard just yet. So sell it, the guy comes back and says, hey man, this thing dies under load. And I'm like, this thing it's been fully serviced. This thing must have had between 20 and 30 minutes of runtime, maybe even more, because I dragged it out of storage and then I ran it again to make sure. And I pulled the carb apart just because, maybe he put bad gas in it, and I've never seen it before. It's the auto choke that plastic isolator is cracked in multiple areas, and it's letting air in.
Yep.
And the only thing I could think of is that the person who had it before me worked on it and over tightened the screws, and it was just I'd never seen it before. I know plastic cracks, right? It's not going to last forever, but all of these cracks, almost like when you punch a mirror, that's what it almost seemed like to me. So I says, all right, I'm going to order a new isolator. And the guy's like, listen, I need a lawnmower. I'll take the Honda self-propelled. I'm like, all right, I'll take care of you. So order a new isolator. And when I was working on the carburetor, I was working on it in the middle of the rain outside. I could have swore in the back of my mind that the needle was installed upside down.
Huh?
And I didn't think anything of it, because if the needle was installed upside down, it wouldn't run as good as it did.
Wouldn't it flood like crazy though?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was thinking like maybe my emotions are high because like I'm aggravated and stressed. So put the new isolator on, put the carburetor back on the way. I think it, the way it should be. And back up for sale it goes. So I sell it, and it happened to be someone that knows what I do. So they were here at the house. So she was like, listen, can I just try it out on your yard? And I'm like, yeah, the lawnmower's clean. I didn't do anything to my yard yet. Have at it. She cut half my yard. Nice. And then she's like, okay, I'll take it. I'm like, okay, no big deal. She comes back 5 minutes later with it. And she's like, oh, I don't know what I did. When I pull the recoil, nothing happens. So I'm like, all right. I'm like, this is just like the one mower that's just going to keep coming. This is going to be the one. So I just pull the recoil housing and I'm like, all right, it's not, the dogs aren't catching. So I'm like, all right, pull off the engine cover. The flywheel nut backed off.
This is the lawnmower from hell.
Yeah. So I'm like, all right, this guy was obviously in here or someone was in here and did something. So I'm like, all right. She's like, well, how'd that happen? I said, I don't know. Stuff happens, tighten it back down. Fire's on the first pull. Now it won't idle up. The thermowax quit. So I just says, I'm done. Gave her a self-propelled lawnmower for the same price. See you later. Love you. Bye. And then I converted it to El Manuel.
Yeah. There you go.
No more thermowax. I keep the parts in stock. I keep one carb and one choke cable in stock because I don't mess with the thermowaxes no more.
Honda makes such great stuff except for chokes.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
they got the wax choke. They got that little lever that slowly comes back, and then it fires and opens the choke off.
Yeah.
I mean, my personal mower is a GCV 190 with a thermal wax on it.
Oh yeah.
It's from 2014, so it's what, 10 years old now, starting 11th. I replaced that thermal wax 2 years ago, and then the flap the HIXs has at the back.
Yes.
Right.
Replaced that. That's all I've ever replaced on that mower.
So let me ask you a question. Did you have trouble getting that thermo wax out? The only time I ever had replaced one, it was like stuck in there with like glue or something.
Yeah,
I was afraid I was going to break it off.
That's a little trick.
A hammer.
That's a little trick. Give it a little
Tell me.
Give it a little bit of heat. It comes right out.
Oh. Well, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I was gonna break it in two.
Yeah,
when you want to install the new one, heat it back up again, and it slides right in there.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's good to know.
Jason,
but that's all I will say one thing, that the choke on my GCV 190, it never misses a beat ever. The only time
that's because it's dated.
It can get a little iffy is that if I start it and only run it for like 30 seconds, shuts it off. Then it's a little rich when you start it back up. But other than that, never misses a beat.
Yeah.
Knock on wood.
Never had a problem with Quantum's automatic choke. I'll tell you that.
You never had the bimetal heat thingy. You never had those go out on you?
Yes.
No. All the problems I've had with Quantum's choke are customer caused. In the sense of they're just dirty and they never clean the machine and stuff gets caught up in there and it can't cycle appropriately.
Yeah.
Or think that one guy who took his lawnmower apart and wasn't honest, and then when you take the lawnmower apart, you see he didn't put things back the right way.
Wasn't honest? Come on, they don't exist.
Yeah. So
I think I replace, I don't know, on average, two. I don't do that many machines, but 2 or 3 a year on those, because they're getting up there age-wise now. So they do start to fail, and sometimes. I mean, I have a heat gun that can go pretty hot, and it's got a nozzle on it. And if they don't react to that one, I give it a quick burst of the MAP gas. If that doesn't do it, I replace it.
Yeah. So far, I've been very lucky or fortunate. I really haven't had any problems with the thermostatic chokes. Only one on a Kohler. Other than that, everything has just been so far. So good. You like that? Like to keep it.
I spoke with a Honda rep years back, and he actually said that the thermal wax is a wearable part. It is.
I believe it.
Yeah, it's something
I
that
don't
you
doubt
will
that.
need to.
That's because they had so much
replace it.
trouble with it. They had to call it a wearable part.
No, he says it's mechanical. I mean, it's mechanical. You got this little rod that comes in and out, and he says it wears. It does.
Yeah, of course.
Well, it's basically like a thermostat in your car.
Exactly.
The house, the fridge, the freezer.
Yeah.
A little break there for you guys.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Sometimes you just gotta give it a little help for whatever
That's
it
right.
may be, and it's good for the rest of the season. I can't give you any rhyme or reason. No lube needed after you tickle it. It just it works. You know. But we've just been mostly doing a lot of services and very little repairs. And I had a dishonest customer, maybe a subscriber, who dropped off a lawnmower who says, enough, like this happened again, that he watched my video and his machine was worse after the fact. And
Say it isn't so.
yeah. Because we're busy, but it doesn't take a lot for us to get busy because I'm a one-man show. And
Right.
Exactly.
I do this after hours. So I have other obligations and priorities.
Welcome to the club.
He just couldn't, this individual couldn't wait, and he pushed me with that line, and I took the lawnmower apart, and it wasn't my fault. He I don't know what he tried to do or what he did. I didn't have any nice words for him after I discovered it. He took the snap rings off the Toro gears for the front self-propelled, and he didn't put them on correctly, so then the gears were coming off and they were locking up the wheels. So then you go to re-manipulate the snap rings, and they didn't make the manipulation part back into shape. And the Toro snap rings are like, I think they're like $6 or like $8 a pop.
That's crazy.
And he expected me to cover that on top of that. So I had tons of fun with him. I'm going to be very polite about that. Diplomatic.
I do not. That's exactly why I do not take jobs in from Facebook or YouTube.
Yeah, because they've already watched a couple of videos and screwed it up.
Yeah,
exactly.
and also it only takes one unhappy customer with a keyboard, and all hell breaks loose.
And, so I've had unhappy customers with the keyboard, and then I'll have other customers chime in. But I fired a customer 2 weeks ago, and he tried to spin it that I didn't want to take him in because of the R word, like sun ray, and then the word, I don't know, I don't want to start maybe, but you know what I'm saying? Ray, that. Yeah. And the person who referred me called me and said, like, what happened? So I just ran him through the scenario. We can go through the scenario, but this guy hit all the checklists of a customer that you don't want.
Yeah.
He had a John Deere lawn tractor that he purchased last year during COVID. So there's check number one. Well, maybe COVID might be different for everybody, but last year COVID didn't happen. And he has only 50 hours on it. He never did nothing to it. And he started up the lawn tractor and it's smoking. So I said, okay. I said, I'm a little bit backed up. I'm about 2 to 3 weeks out. I'll put you on the list and go from there. And so then he says, well, I need to cut my grass. Is it safe to use it? So I said, listen, you use your machine at your own discretion. I'll tell you a few things. 1, check the oil. 2, see where it's leaking from. Okay? Maybe it's not oil. Maybe you just don't clean your tractor and something is just burning. You don't want to catch a fire. And then monitor it while you use it. I understand you need to use it, but monitor. Don't, you can get away with certain things. Your car leaks oil. You're going to park your car. No, you're going to start it up. You're going to drive it and top it off as needed. So do the same thing with them. Okay. So then after a couple of phone calls, about 30 to 45 minutes between explaining to him, his wife, and his brother, who's mechanically inclined about what's going on, I think this person was starting to get me to say certain things so they can try fixing themselves, and I just wasn't have
but Jason, I don't even understand why you're going down that path. If somebody calls me up, there's something wrong with my tractor. Can I continue to use it? The only answer you will ever get is I do not recommend that.
You know what, though? I've been sucked into it like Jason has, though.
It
happens so slowly. All of a sudden, you're in half committed.
I learned that a long time ago, and it's the only answer they'll ever get out of me is that if your tractor is not running 100%, you should have it fixed.
Don't run it. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't say don't run it. I would recommend that you don't run it. I mean,
don't put yourself liable because.
Yeah. I mean, because. Yeah, I don't even go down that route. I mean, you have guys that it smokes a lot. Is it okay? I just keep putting in oil. I go, no, it's not.
I spent enough time on like customer support lines where I'm pretty good at asking questions to get that customer to dig a little deeper of a hole just to get them to jump in the hole themselves. And so that usually takes care of that.
Yeah. So then we started talking about pricing. And then it turned into, I have tons of machines. You're going to fix all of them. Well, listen, pal, if you didn't fix this one ever since you had it, which we know it's been longer than a year, and then he said, and then I'm going to use you every year, like everybody else. So then he says, well, I'm going to refer you to everybody. And I'm sitting in the back. I'm like, so I said, listen, I'm back 2 to 3 weeks. I said, you really shouldn't be referring me because I'm already booked as is. Let's focus on, you and your machine and not your referrals.
Right.
And then, so then we go through pricing, and then he started asking, like, what does this entail? So I started telling him the price that I gave him and then what it entails. And then he didn't want to pay for pickup and delivery. And so he says, can you do mobile? And I says, you know what? I don't feel comfortable doing mobile on your machine. I didn't want to say doing you. I says, this type of repair, I'd rather do at the house. I have all these tools. And so then he started to like wear me down. I says, all right, I'm going to do mobile. And so then he says, okay, how much is it if you do it mobile and what are you going to do? So it's the same price, but I'm going to do less because I don't have certain things at the house. And one of the things was to clean everything. I don't have my pressure washer. I don't have all my stuff. I'm not going to clean your machine.
I think, Jason, you should make yourself a couple of headlines on how to deal with difficult customers, and then keep referring back to that. No, I do not do that. No, I do not recommend that. No, I cannot push it in front of the line.
You can take it down if you need. If somebody's waiting, I'm just going to order that blade adapter and talk. No, I'm going to talk to the customer and then order the blade adapter.
All right. But Jason, I think it's. I mean, you can.
I take responsibility because
I know, but you can spend hours and hours.
Well, yeah, I agree. I'm not like 45 minutes of my time, and then we left it off, and then I woke up the next morning, and it was like a million text messages. Hey, can you talk to my wife again and tell me what's going on? I'm like, I spoke to you and your wife on speakerphone.
Yeah.
Once, first time.
Yeah.
Then I spoke to you again, second time. Then I spoke to your brother who's a mechanic, third time, mechanically inclined, third time. That's it. I'm done.
Yeah.
So I sent so when I woke up to those text messages, I sent them a message like, "Hey man, listen, after reviewing, like I'm just not the right fit for you," and that's it. And then apparently he went online and
I know
was telling people stuff about me.
Yeah.
Whatever, I don't care.
Yeah, and I mean, then we're cycling back to why I don't take people in from Facebook and YouTube, because it's an angle I don't need.
Yeah,
and I mean, it's just I have a list. It's in my drawer. I can put it up, and I don't take it in from there. I don't do this. I don't do that. I can do this. I can do this. No, I don't put you in front of the line because you told me that you have 10 machines that needs fixing. I don't care how many you have.
yeah.
If you're in third, you get fixed third. End of story.
Yep. But it's
and it's I think sometimes in terms of customers that we cater too much to them.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't
used to it.
Yeah, probably, but maybe this is the time where you learn them something else. You can do a good job at a reasonable price. That's what you do. It's in your spare time. Sometimes you can't.
Idea.
I mean, no,
yes,
but I mean,
I believe that, and I think it's one of my strengths that I'm very customer service oriented, because I think that's all I know, and I'm not saying that's the right way to do it, but in reality, we are performing a service for someone, and I know with me in my area, people will complain. Their number one complaint is that repair shops around me will just say, "Hey, your machine is done. You owe me money." They won't, no estimate, no, you know what I'm saying? It's so I try and do, like, I use the word show, tell, and sell.
Yeah.
But it's more like to cover my tracks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I found this wrong with your machine while I'm in here. Here's a quick picture. Here's a quick video.
Yeah.
Boom. What do you want to do? Or this needs to be done.
Maybe it's a cultural thing with those quotes, but I don't give quotes, and I recommend to people that ask for one that you don't get one from me, because if I have to give you a quote, I have to take every little rusty bolt into that quote.
Mm-hmm.
So why not just go the cheap route? It's hourly rate plus parts.
So I don't give an exact price. I give ranges. And
that's what I do.
If you agree to that range, you're not going to hear from me until the machine is done. Yeah. If something happens and we go outside of that range, then you will hear from me.
Yeah. I can do that too. I tell people, if we exceed $200, $300, $400, I will give you a call and let you know how far I am when I reach that number. Then you get to decide what happens.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all I do. That's the only interaction between people dropping it off and picking it up. The only one I have, and I'd only have that with a very few amount of people, because I tell them, if you want me to quote you, I can do that. It'll be a fixed quote. You will not pay more than that, and I will fix what we agree and I write down. But you don't want that, because that's going to be too expensive for you, because I will cover every single rusty bolt I can find. And that means I just add on hours until I am sure I will not lose money on your tractor or your machine. And I tell people, trust me, I will not spend more. I will show you all the parts I replaced. I will show you what each one cost. I will show you how much time I spend on it. And for the ones that knows I have a camera, I tell, if the camera's on, I will slash the hours in half. So if I took 3 hours on it, you only pay an hour and a half. And everybody says, yeah, that's good. That's great. I think we talked about this before, Jason.
Potentially. I mean, it seems like every year, unfortunately, I have to experience something to this. This is the first time I've ever been accused of the R word, which was like crazy. And it's just all because I said I'm just not the right fit for you. I don't care about your accent. We're just not the right fit. Once you start saying I have all these machines, you're gonna fix them all. I'm gonna use you every year. I'm gonna refer you. That means God. I'm not saying God. That means God. What God? There's gonna be issues that may arise. So that means when issues arise, everything is gonna be a struggle.
Yeah.
Let's just say a rusty bolt breaks. Now, whoa. You said this price. You touched it. When people start trying to throw Hail Marys at me for discounts and whatnot, I haven't been doing this long enough, but I know from experience that they're not the best customer for you or for your machine. And I'm at the point where I don't have to rely on those people.
No, and I think the trick is, Jason, not to even go near them in the first place.
Yeah. So I was lucky that they didn't come to the house with their machine or something. I'm just glad that it was strictly over the phone and we never got to
know what they're telling you, Jason? They're telling you, look, I got 1,000 machines here. You're going to do it cheaper for me than anybody else.
Yeah.
They're telling you.
Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that because I've done a few jobs like that where I'll spend the day and they'll get like a day's rate, but they're getting a little bit more. Let's just say you value yourself at $500 a day. I will bump it up to an extra price difference because they're getting, to me, a catered service.
Yeah.
Right? If you walk into any repair shop, ask them to shut down a day to work on all your equipment, they're going to laugh at you. So I do that periodically. There's only 2 people I do that for, and that's it. Nobody else gets afforded that, but they're fantastic to work with. And it's easy. There's no complaints. There's no nothing. And even if I have to come back because I don't have enough parts or whatever, I don't have to say anything to them. It's extra because they understand the service that they're getting compared to what they had to prior. So, it's.
I think it's. I mean, Jason, I don't know you personally, but I think you're a pretty honest person, and it hurts you when people treat you that way. So the easiest thing is, don't go near them. I treat everybody the same way. That way, you can say, I am doing to you what I do to everybody else, and I have a two-week waiting line to get something fixed. So something is done right. So I can't help you. I mean, if you can't live by that, I'm not the one that's going to fix your machine. Have a nice day. Goodbye.
Yeah. And it's like, and even at work, I'm not going to use the word I get in trouble, but it's like if I'm doing something and I see something out of line that has nothing to do with what I'm doing, I'm just going to do it. So that means sometimes what I'm doing might take a little bit longer because while I'm in there, I cannot, ignore this. And I'm the same thing with, a person's machine here at home. If I see something while I'm in, I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to do it. I might take a quick photo and say, hey, while I was in there, I saw this, I took care of it. No, as a courtesy while I'm in there, it's done. So that's just how I operate. And even though
I can tell you that I never give discounts ever. I mean, you can look at me, you can come with the best rack, you can be the nicest or the ugliest. You do not get a discount.
Yeah, nobody I agree with you.
End of story. I mean, nobody. There's always a couple of exceptions to the rule. It's my neighbors, because they have to listen to me fine-tuning a chainsaw at 9 p.m. on a Saturday or
Right.
something, and they get a 25% discount on the hourly rate.
Yeah.
And that's I'm fine with that. The other one, if I want to help someone, and if I know I live in a small town, if I know they're struggling a little bit, I will like wash their machine so it looks really nice, and I won't charge them for it. I don't even tell them. I just do it.
Yeah.
And
Well, I will
that's
say
it.
if somebody shows up with a nice 6-pack, I'm a little more willing to,
A
you know,
6-pack.
oh yeah, I'll just throw those extra bolts on there. That's all right.
Yeah. So for me,
I have had people bring their mower, unannounced, and I'm by appointment only. I mean,
Right.
you normally, if you come in here and don't have an appointment, get out. I don't have time for you. But they come in with a mower that won't start and a 6-pack of beer. I said, "Oh, these are for you." I said, "Thank you. They're nice." Oh,
right.
Yeah, I was thinking if you can just look this over. I said, "I cannot."
Depends what kind of beer it is.
Yeah,
Right.
That too. Non-alcoholic, it's going to cost you extra. No.
That's right.
And they say, "Can you just look it over?" I said, "I don't know what that is, but I can." I just did. It's nice. It's red. I can do a service on it. "Oh, how much is that?" I said, "I don't know, because I don't know if there's anything wrong with it. Will it start?" He goes, "No." Okay, now we are moving from service to repair.
Right.
Different thing. But I will fix it so it starts, and then I can do a service on it. "How much is that?" I said, "I still don't know, because I don't know why it won't start. But I charge this much per hour. Parts are parts in the range of this. If it's just regular, if it's with a blade, it's this much. Without a blade, it's in that, like a ballpark. But I don't guarantee anything, because if I find 5 roasted bolts that takes me an hour, you will have to pay the hour."
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I don't know. But if you're concerned about money, if you reach this number, I will call you. How about that? "Oh yeah." And then he looks over at his beers, and I say, "Thanks for the beers. Have a good one. I'll call you when it's ready." I don't buy into it. I mean, some people have no idea what's going on, and they think that just because it's a lowly lawnmower that it doesn't cost anything. Go somewhere else. I mean, go to the dealer.
Yeah.
Try them out.
I don't believe in discounts at all.
No.
Because you're spending time. You will never get that time back.
No.
And if you want to value your time differently, that's fine and that's okay. But, right? God forbid something happens, whether it's you make a mistake, we make mistakes, it happens, or just something happens with the machine. You're obligated to take it back.
Yeah.
So be compensated for it. Yeah. Don't give a discount. Yeah. And then when it comes back in, like, "Oh man, I just for next to nothing," and now it's back. So I don't believe in discounts. I am anti-discount, even when we get work done.
No, but I mean, put that on your list, Jason, on how you handle customers.
We've had people with discounts with pickup and delivery. Yeah. It's not happening. I'm sorry. I don't care what kind of.
I remember that. Yeah, but you're on your way to so-and-so where you drop it off.
Yeah. I can't
remember that one.
I remember.
If you had to tell yourself, Jason, where are you price-wise compared to a dealership?
I know I'm cheaper. I'm still under $100 an hour.
Okay.
I'm still under $100 an hour.
Yeah.
And we just redid the garage, and I am at peak efficiency. So I know I'm able to get more work done, and I'm trying to be fair.
Yeah. I've done it differently, because my hourly rate is ridiculous compared to the dealers. But what I've done and spent a lot of time on is securing some good deals on buying parts.
Yes.
So on a tractor that sucks up a lot of parts, I make more on the parts than I do on my hourly rate. I have 40-50% discount on parts.
Yeah.
And I spend a lot of time on it the last 3 years. I mean, I've been going at it, trying every angle. I have discounts with a couple of brand names and aftermarket companies. And that's where I make my money.
Hey, you guys want to talk about this oil pump that the?
No. We're
No.
talking about parts. So
Yeah. It's almost an hour and you're not even done yet, Ken?
yeah.
Well-
Yeah. I mean, I hope your hourly rate is low.
He had to clean off the workbench.
Oh, sorry. No,
Well-
but I'm just saying, Jason, it's a way of explaining to people that you come here, it's cheaper, but it comes at a drawback. For instance, I'm a one-man show. I cannot put you in front of the line. I cannot give you quotes. I cannot. You have to trust me that I will fix your machine at a cheaper price than the dealer, and equally as good.
Okay.
And that's it.
Okay,
Sorry.
Ken, your turn.
Yeah. Kenny, you're on.
My turn?
Does it start? You
Right.
gotta
Blow
yank
him up.
it.
Blow him up.
You gotta
Oh.
yank it. You gotta yank it.
Blow him up. We want to see
I'm
what he's
working on it.
doing.
I'm working on it.
There you go.
All right, I took out the old filter, which is basically just a spring. The oil filter is just a spring. Okay, here's the new one you get in the kit. Anyone who's doing a Poulan Pro or most of the Poulan saws, 576-753-201. Thank you to Klaus. That's the part number. And in the kit, you get the new oil pump. It's already lubed with lube on it. You get the drive spring, which I'm not going to use. The old spring is good. It was just resting on plastic. You get a new elbow. You get 2 new screws to put in. I'm going to use the old screws. It doesn't matter. You get the new tube, the transfer tube, and you get the gasket. And most people don't know what this gasket is. Well, the gasket goes into the pump like this.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a felt seal. It's like a rubbery, felty, just to seal oil out. Because remember, oil was all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
Can we see the old one that's melted? Oh, yeah.
It's
Okay.
all destroyed. All right. So basically, you start out with your oil pump, and the way the pump goes in, it goes in this orientation where this is pointing to the bottom of the oil tank. The flat goes toward the rear of the saw. So you stick that in there. The flat goes to the rear of the saw, and that's it. You pump it in, and if you have to turn it, you could take a screwdriver and turn it. So now it rests. If you notice, it rests this way. Okay. Now you take the elbow that comes with it, or you can use the old elbow, and that goes into the transfer tube. So you have the transfer tube. Let me take out these screws. Hold on.
So Kenny, why don't you just replace the parts? You got them all. It's not like you're gonna know what
No.
they are a year and a half from now.
Yeah, I'm replacing everything except for the 2 screws. No big deal.
Oh, I thought you said you weren't going to replace the spring.
Well, spring pinion, I'm not going to put a puller in it or pull this out to push the same one back on. There's nothing wrong with it because it's turning plastic, so there's no wear on it.
Your customer's going to get a discount for not using all the parts. I'm sorry, Kenny. I know what you mean. That spring, you don't want to go there if you don't have to. Trust me.
Well, what I will say on my end is most of the people that bring me stuff to fix don't know I do YouTube. So I just don't even bring it up, basically.
Yeah.
No, because then, like I said, my customer, Ronnie, who I used to work with, who I did that pressure washer for, I don't mind people watching me, but I don't want to have them second guess me either on what I'm doing. So, all right. So basically the screws are out. So here's the pump. The pump got to be put into the new hose. The new hose goes like that. So you put the pump in. You have to line the holes up in the pump with the goes into and the goes out. So basically just vertical, to be honest. That's all you really have to do, vertically. And it's a good fit. When you push this on, it's actually a decent fit. The only question I had was that hole. Basically, okay, push on all the way. Because if you look at it, the way it lines up, the center of the holes is with the tube all the way down.
Yep.
So push it on all the way down like that.
Yep.
So then the elbow goes into the end. The other elbow goes into the filter. This goes into the channel. So we're going to put that in there. We're going to push that elbow into the filter. We're going to push this part into the top. And this acts as a seal as well. And one thing I noticed too, on the old one, this part here that seals against the plate for the chain, you know, the plate goes on there. This one wasn't sticking up as far. So that's where
they wear, and then they leak like a sieve.
Like, oh, yeah. This one here sticks up about a millimeter. This one here was like basically flush. It wasn't sealing, and that's why you get oil all over the place. All right, so we have that in there. We have that in there. All right, it's in. We'll take the 2 new screws.
It's nice to look at a $500 repair on a Poulan.
Out of $3 so.
Yeah.
But what I'm going to do to prove this is I'm going to put oil in it, and I'm going to spin it with a drill.
Can you have some confidence? Put the damn thing back together and just run it.
Make sure, because the other one was rubbing on the shaft here and melted in the center. You can see it like melted around it.
If it did it before, it'll do it again, but it'll take a couple of years.
There you go. So I just want to make sure it's good.
You can test yourself to death.
I know.
And for some reason, and I don't know why, but I don't like forcing 2 strokes with a drill. It's just something I don't like that. I don't know why, but I don't.
What did you say, Klaus?
I said I don't like putting a drill to a 2-stroke and just rotating it, because I'm not sure why, but I don't like that. They don't get any fuel or lubrication or anything. It's maybe it's just me.
Click. How's that? Click.
Oh yeah, that's a factory right there.
All right. So we have the new pump. We have the new transfer tube. We have the new filter. Everything is new. So it should be ready to try. What I was going to do was
you got that back plate. You got to get that on there.
Yeah, the back plate seals it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I could bring it out, put some oil in it, start it up, and see how she pumps. I could do that. Is that what everyone wants? Throw some oil in it, see how she pumps.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, you pre-loop the pump, so it'll be fine. It'll be fine.
It came with grease on it.
Yeah, you want to put the clutch on and stuff, right?
No, you don't have to for this, for what we're doing.
Well, no,
I'm not going to do the chain or bar or anything. I just want to see if the oil.
No, but it's just that doesn't that the clutch the clutch housing doesn't that hold stuff in place?
Nope.
No?
Nope.
What about the spring?
Like I said, all I'm going to do, I will put the plate on here. That plate that's against here.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see, is it pumping? If I see it coming out of here with the engine idling, then I know the pump's working. Then I'll stop and I'll put it back together.
But won't you need the
what?
Maybe I'm getting it wrong, but isn't it the bell housing of the clutch that drives the pump?
Not at all. This is this is driven by this spring.
Alrighty, I get you. I got you. Yeah.
That's why I take the old one off.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me put some Earl in here.
Plate first, so nothing falls out.
Bar Earl. Where's my bar Earl? I have a whole.
That's what I would do, Klaus. But
yeah,
you and I do things differently.
What would you do?
Put that backing plate on.
I don't need to right this second.
Isn't that the oil right there next to the 2 drills?
I'm sorry?
Next to the 2 drills.
That's
motor oil.
No, that's
It'll
honey
be
for
fine
his tea.
That'll be fine for testing purposes only.
Hey, Klaus, can I put canola oil in there?
I'll put some canola oil in there. It's gonna smell nice.
Now I've got some official. I like Kawasaki products, so I have some official
Yes, sir. Now
Yep.
we're talking. Oh yeah. What viscosity is that? Is it?
Do they have viscosity for bar oil?
Oh yeah.
This
They got
one- well, no.
winter, summer, and medium.
They have winter and summer.
And
This is
medium.
one I really don't care. I do sometimes I'll stock summer oil, but in this case, I mean, bar oil. It is what it is. You know? But they do stock it. Steel has summer, winter grade, blue bottle versus red bottle.
For homeowners, it doesn't make a difference. But if you run a big saw, big chain, big blade, and all that on it, yeah, it makes a difference. But otherwise, I don't think so.
So Nikki, I will answer your question from my standpoint of view, coming from the old antique scooter world. Yes, you can run them without oil like that, but generally old stuff that is has a 2-stroke mix that will lubricate the top end as well. If you run it for too long that way, yes, you will have an issue. On the old scooters that have oil injectors, which is not unlike a oil pump for the bar and chain, I think it's okay for a few seconds to do it, but I agree doing it for too long would be an issue in my book. And chain oil is usually stickier.
Yeah, it's stickier, Michael, and it cling. They call it cling oil. It clings more, so it doesn't get flung off. When you get to the tip of the blade, it brings something back. It's very sticky oil. It's almost like a really heavy gear oil, but it still had this. I mean, if you dip your fingers in it, it can almost do. When you separate your fingers from a drop of that, it can almost do threads. You know, it's very very sticky stuff.
I put about a little over half a tank. That's what Scott suggested.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of viscosity, if you don't mind me asking, what do you guys use for lawn tractor transmissions?
Depends on the transmission.
80, 90 weight gear oil.
Yeah, so there's 80, 90 weight gear oil. Then some people say because it's so expensive, they could get away with a different kind, and they've been running it for years.
A run-of-the-mill Tough Torque will run on 5W50 full synthetic, no problem. But you can get specialized gear oils, 10W30, that runs them just as fine. Tough Torques are not hysterical when it comes to oil. Just don't make it like a single grade keto stuff. Get some synthetic oil in there because it breaks down slower than dyno oil. When it comes, what's the other brand? Tecumseh Peerless. They can be a little tricky when it comes to oil.
Yeah, the Peerless ones are different.
Yeah, and also the design inside them are very different from model to model. Tough Torques are almost the same. They just made something bigger or something smaller. But the Tecumseh Peerless is that they can have oil in one side and bentonite grease in the other side. You know, they're weird. But yeah, but on a Tough Torque, you cannot go wrong with a 5W50 full synthetic. It's not top of the range for it, but it'll do the job.
Yeah, I had.
I don't put in ATF oil or hydraulic. I don't do that. I use motor oil, and
my John Deere takes a 1030 multigrade.
Yeah.
Now,
some Tough Torques do too. I mean, they do.
Does your John Deere have drain plugs?
No,
but I can suck it out from the spout if I want to.
Yeah. I had to
put a drain plug in there. There's an area you could drill out and put a drain plug
in.
Yeah.
I was watching
Carol.
Lots of videos on that. Yes.
All right, I'm going to start, guys. If you want to mute me. I'm going to start it. Can you guys see it if I go like this?
Yeah, but can you raise your camera? Can you raise your camera?
Raise your camera and zoom in.
Well, it's probably not on a tripod. He's going to break his camera.
No, I can't zoom.
That's good. That's good, Ken.
That's good. Right there. That's good.
Let's see what's going on. Hold on.
Why don't you put some cardboard there?
Huh?
Put some cardboard on your shelf.
No.
Don't distract him, Hank.
Well, then he's going to have oil on the shelf.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's right.
Well, that was me yesterday. I got more oil on me than in the oil pan.
Oh, so it's not just me?
No, it's not just you, Bruce. But you do a good show on spilling gas, though.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I have gotten so good at that, I pretty much only spill it on purpose now.
Yeah.
I will say one thing while Kenny is doing his thing. Oh, sorry.
There you go.
Now we're talking.
Pizza box.
Do you have a white box instead?
That's right. Pizza box is already greasy, so you're not going to tell if it dripped any oil or not.
This what we run here is a professional operation.
That's right.
Oh no. Oh. Sounds good. Stall once, go.
That's right.
Perfect. It's going to work.
It's oiling.
Now put the damn thing back together so we can see it cut in wood.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
And you can tell if its bar's getting oiled when you do put it back together.
Yeah. In this way, I know it's definitely oiling, so that's good.
Yeah.
Take it into the kitchen.
That's right.
Oh boy. The kitchen.
See, I can get away with that. You guys can't. Ha ha.
Yeah.
Oh, she make a bigger joke.
So back to the adapters. The 2.54, 2.53 inch adapter is the one I want. It's $28 online. And the 1 inch, which is the Briggs & Stratton engine, is $23 online. Interesting, eh?
Yeah.
I keep a small.
I tried to find one in Red Deer here where I live, and there's about 2 small engine shops, and I'm sure they won't have it.
Yeah. Well, then we always got Amazon.
That's where I'm going to go. But I'd really like to buy it this week, so I will wait till Monday.
So how about this? What blade adapters do you guys keep in stock besides ones that are from parts machines?
None. I have over here. We have these front-mounted riders where the deck is out front.
Okay.
Rear steer. Yeah, we have a lot of those. I keep the blade bosses for those because they break all the time. But that's it. That's it.
These are used.
I mean, you can fill up a whole cabinet.
It weighs about 50 pounds.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, over here, the old style AYP, just the steel with just a bracket and 2 dots and a hole, we don't see them very often.
Yeah. So
I don't keep those in. Well, the ones for the front riders I do, but and they're Husqvarna products. So, but other than that, no, I don't.
So I'm like Bruce. I think maybe we're all like Bruce. We have an assortment of extras or leftovers. I keep 2 styles of the MTDs.
Yeah.
The 2 size MTD has the 2 different sizes, and then I keep one of the AYP Husqvarna ones that have like the flower on there. That's the only ones I keep in stock. After that, everybody's done.
Jason, both you and Bruce fix up machines to sell.
Mm-hmm.
I don't.
Oh.
This one's a repair, though.
I only repair other people's crap. So that means if I keep it in stock, I can hold on to this blower housing or blade boss or whatever for 5 years and find I need to use it and I can't charge anything for it because it's used. I just got fed up with that. So I have very little. I have a couple of tanks, a couple of carburetors lying around, but that's it.
Couple of hundred, did you say?
No. I Bruce, I actually did away with them. I do have the last brand new Briggs & Stratton tank for those carburetors in tank, the 5-horse horizontals, L-head. Those tanks that you can't get them anymore. They're not supplied. I have the last one that was sold in Denmark. I have it. It's in my shelf, and if you need it, it's going to cost you.
I have lots of.
Just make sure when you're putting on this plate that this piece here that holds the plate to the bar stud in the rear, make sure it is tight as hell so when you push it down, it stays. And make sure you have intimate contact up here with the seat.
There are no screws on that thing, right?
Not on that, no.
No, it's got those anti-grip things that goes over the studs.
Yeah, I mean, this one here, when you put the chain on, after you put the bar on, then you put this one on.
Yeah.
And that's just to act as a deflector. That's all it is.
It's amazing that thing is made by a Husqvarna company.
Poulan, and on and on and on.
Well, this lawnmower is a Poulan, and it's straight. It's straight. You can go right off the Husky drawings on it. It's probably a 2016.
But the really nice thing about Husqvarna, and that's why one of the reasons why I like Husqvarna, is that they will have a complete different IPL for it with different numbers on everything. It may be the same thing, but they have it and you can get it.
You're right.
That is, and Husqvarna also promises 20 years delivery on parts. But on the cheap stuff, they don't do that. But the more expensive stuff, 20 years. I mean, Nikki, I completely agree. But I mean, you're standing there with a crap old tiller, and somebody completely destroyed his pull function thingy, shroud, and whatever. And you tell him, I need 50% of the new price. And he goes, oh, it's old. Yeah, it is. I don't do that. And if it breaks, guess who's going to be paying for fixing it? That's me. So I put new stuff on. And if I can't get new stuff, they need a new machine.
I'd have to say that 80% of my business is comeback business or referred business. It's all a friendly thing. They just go, hey, Bruce, that freaking mower quit again. Freaking, I said. And you just do it. That's okay.
Yeah, I know. I know, but I live in a small town, and if I don't make people feel that they got their money's worth, word gets around.
It does. Town. Yeah, it's the same here.
You got to be nice, and you got to give people what they pay for. And for some reason, in 2 years' time, people cannot remember that they paid a stack of money for something done, but they can remember if it broke down 2 weeks after they just picked it up.
Well, I just did this one, and Trudy has an Excel spreadsheet, and she said, well, you would believe it that this lady came, the last time she was here was in 2018.
Right.
And the machine was still had oil in it.
Yeah.
And the plug was pretty foul. And there was some crud in the tank. And I've had
I need a Trudy. This is our Excel.
Yeah,
that's what I got.
The same thing.
I have these little stickers I put on machines where it says service by, next recommended service by, and then there's a little room for hours if it's got an hour meter on it. So when people come in, hey, you serviced this last year, now it won't start. I go,
I have a
secretary. But it was 2 years ago. Look at the sticker. Oh yeah, it was 2 years ago. Yeah, see.
Well, Trudy just typed
mine
in
says service by Hobby Motors, so I don't get blamed.
Yeah.
I don't put my name on it. I got to be on a good footing with the dealerships around me. So
it's really handy for me though. Like Trudy just types in the name at the top of the form, and up it comes. It's pretty nice.
Wow,
that is cool. That is.
So I have a professional secretary, administration assistant,
and lunch lady, and lunch.
A little dirt water lawnmower repair guy.
Nice.
Well, I do transfer everything from my where my sophisticated database here. I think your database is the same.
Yeah, mine is the same. Yeah.
I transfer that to a spreadsheet to help doing my taxes. And so I put their name, what it was, like if it was a mower or a pressure washer or whatnot, and then parts and labor. So I can go back and look up somebody's name to see how many years ago they put it in there, but it's not very sophisticated. I mean, I wish I was better at that, but
she's crazy good.
Did she say
works
taxes?
for me?
Yeah. So this is the green book because we started selling parts, and when we handed this to the accountant, he said, "This is the first and the last time you guys gotta get updated. You guys got it.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, Trudy used to work for the Department Transportation head for the province, so she's learned all that stuff.
Yeah.
No, it's good. It's good. Maybe taught ourselves how to fix small engines. We could teach ourselves how to do a spreadsheet. YouTube.
Oh no, she's got me beat. I was gonna just about rebuilt the engine on her car, and then she just went on YouTube and looked it up and hit this button, turned thing on her thing, and up came the air conditioning, and away we went.
Hey, it works.
It does work. Too much data on new cars. Too much data.
Yes.
Well, they're designed to force you to get back to the dealership. That along with all the right to repair laws that are pushing around, because that's
on the new Fords, the tail lights are not wired to the blinker. They are wired to a data bus in the tail light lens, and that data bus goes to the front of the vehicle, and then the computer says, "Turn me on" or "Turn me off."
Yep.
Right.
It's been like I forgot what they call it. It's been like that on the trucks, and it's driving me crazy. No more relays, no more fuses. Everything.
Well, you take the tail light out, and there's a connector there with 32 leads on it. 32 leads to turn on a light bulb.
Insane.
This isn't an F-16 we're talking about here. We're talking
and then to replace it, it has to be programmed. And then in order to buy it, you have to get it from the dealer because you can't get it no place else. It's. I'm not saying it's scary.
So that's going to be the next big thing on YouTube is guys that are hackers that they used to rebuild Chevy Chevelles. Now they're going to be doing tear outs of wiring and installations of analog carburetors and fuel injection systems that aren't computerized.
Mm-hmm. So I'll hold on to all my old stuff and never get rid
of it.
That's right.
I don't have a smart refrigerator. I don't have a smart washer. I don't have a smart dryer. I pay extra for dumb appliances. I do.
Yeah.
Talk about dumb. Here's a Chinesium tool, right? That's supposed to fit on here, right? It don't fit. It's like 5 thousandths too small.
What
kind of a tool is it?
Clutch removal tool?
It's literally, if I take a piece of emery and go like this, that's how close it is.
Can you buzz it off with your angle grinder and then it'll fit?
Yeah, that's true.
We'll be back a half hour later with all that stuff.
Right. He's kicking shit over in the garage.
The best thing we ever did was that garage. I can't tell you how life-changing that is. Jesus, man. Especially with the electrical set up the way it is. I could run everything at the same time. I have to worry about shutting this off, shutting that off. Where all my tools are. It's like I'm at work in the sense of like at the end of the day, you take 5 or 10 minutes and you put everything back where it's supposed to be, so that when you come in the next day, it's a fresh start.
Love it. You joined the other side, did you?
Yes. And I fight every day to keep it that way. Every day.
Every day at the end of the day, it takes 20 minutes. If you don't do that, it takes 6 hours.
Yeah.
Well, in my case, it's going to be a lifetime.
David is asking you a question about your shop.
So did you? Okay, so we did not do any heat or air conditioning. I don't know. So Chris has been in the hospital this whole week, so we're waiting on her. And then
and she's just going to buy you a warm jacket.
Yeah. So when she gets back home and she's all in good spirit, then we can move on to the next phase of these home renovations.
Piece of shit! Don't buy it. That's why it was $7.
Break it?
No, because it's almost a half round, so you got to go all the way around it. It's a pain in the ass.
Did you build
that means it's not the right tool.
No, I'm going to press them out. I'll turn them down a little bit, but for now, this is bullshit. Oh man. Good enough.
All righty.
All right, now I gotta blow off the chain brake that's full of shit.
You're killing me.
Put them in the comments.
All righty.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Somebody's choking on an oyster.
That's me.
You do use your thumbs. No, David.
Okay, we gotta turn that and then.
Piston stop.
Nope.
That's what I'm holding in my hand.
What are you holding in your hand, Bruce?
I'm holding it. No, I'm just holding one in my hand. Easy.
A giggling pin.
Took me a while.
No, it is a Michael, you're sort of onto something here. Michael Roberts.
What?
As is Light the Fires. You guys are onto something here.
All right.
No, David, it is not an X-Acto knife.
Nice try, David.
No, sorry, Double Wide, it's not. Looks good though. That would make a nice tool for that. I kind of like that. I do have another hint picture, but I'm not going to put that up right yet because I think
like that
the
threaded
hint
piece.
would really make it too obvious.
That threaded piece does something when it sticks out the end.
Yes.
I'll be right back. I got a Steger pressure washer for sale. Hold on.
Uh-oh.
Yep. Sell, baby, sell.
Let me get the comments back up. I'm a little behind. Oops, I brought up the wrong one.
By the way, hi, Bob. How are you?
It is not a...
Hi, Bob.
No. Ding, 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 ding.
Who are you dinging?
I don't even have to Lights Fires. He spelt it wrong, but it is a hole gauge.
Ooh.
Let me get the full one up here. I was just trying to put that up for you guys.
Like for checking the depth of a hole?
The width of a hole.
Oh. That's like a bore gauge then.
Yeah, sort of a bore gauge, hole gauge, bore gauge, about the same. Somebody else said hole gauge after that, bore gauge. Here you go. Let me open this up. Boom, 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 boom. Come on, picture. It takes a while for it to load up. There you go. Good job.
Oh, all righty. Nice.
I got to use my magnifying glass on that, by.
No, that is an ingenious one. I like
That is clever.
One.
Yeah, because I have bore gauges, and you have to kind of jiggle them in left and right for them to sit exactly
In the center.
on the center. But that little guy sort of self-centers. I mean, in smaller holes. Obviously, you wouldn't use a bore gauge there.
What does it give you at the other end? The result of the width?
No. You just tighten that on until it's the right fit. Then you take that out. Then you measure that with your calipers. So it's like a two-step
That's
process.
actually quite clever. That's quite clever.
Yeah, that's the way like bore gauges work. All kinds of stuff like that. You set them, tighten them down, and then you take it out and measure it somewhere else.
Yeah, same thing with a thread chaser.
Yeah, sort of. Yeah, same idea.
I like that.
Well, damn, I was thinking that was going to be harder.
Well,
at least I didn't name the file. That was the first thing I did that one time.
You got to stop putting the name of the tool up on top.
Yeah. I've stopped that. I just now call them close up and full size.
Do you have that tool still?
No, I actually Tom helped me find that. Because I found something. I said, I'll do this, and Tom said, no, try that. So I think anyone who messes with measuring stuff, or anyone that tries to lay the machine stuff, they're going to know what that is, and that's how they use it.
Let's ask our resident expert, Hank. You got one like that? Hank, are you there? Hello, Hank. Do you have one?
No, I don't.
No, that's not the right answer. The right answer is no, I don't.
Do you know what I like about that is,
but I need to buy one.
You could set it, and as you pull it in and out of a piston hole, example for a borehole, you could see how much deviation is in the hole too. Like that would be quite handy.
Yeah.
Well,
that's the fire. You win nothing.
That's how these work. That's actually what this is a bore gauge. It's a spring-loaded little guy.
That's the kind I have. Yeah.
These are the kinds I have, and these work enough. But you tighten that down,
Guys,
and
remember,
then when you pull it out, then you go measure again.
But you have to take like 10 measurements just to make sure.
Yes, and that hole gauge, because you're in a much smaller hole. But if you can imagine this tool with those big giant cones on the end, that'd be kind of on the heavy side. So.
Yeah, I got the other one too for the pistons. That you swivel in there.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of that high science stuff.
Well,
I just use 2 fingers. If they fit,
that's right. If it fits.
Yeah, this is my chainsaw clutch removal tool.
There you go. I guarantee that works every time.
I have had people from that have scooter shops, but they're all moped shops and that sort of thing, and so they know I do the antique stuff. So they'll send some antiques to me and say, "Tell me what the condition of this is." So I'll basically go through and I'll measure everything and tell them what this is and that is, and mainly to know the health of an engine if you really want to know, and because sometimes something can still have a lot of compression and be really old, but it's worn out still.
Like the fire skid tester, she's got an electronic measuring gauge now. Oh, that's nice. That is nice.
But it's still as accurate as an analog one.
Yeah.
Because the measurement is taken first.
I mean, we all suffer from, I don't know what it's called, but we always reach for the same tool, even though we have a better one. I have one of those inductive heaters so you can heat up a bolt, if you want to break it loose. It's electric. It's got a coil. You put the coil over the
I've seen those. Yeah, those are kind of nice.
I have one of those. And every time I'm standing there with my map gas, I'm going, hey, I should have gotten that. And that's just how you get set in your ways. It worked the last time. I'll do it again. But I will say an electronic measuring gauge for hole diameter, that would be nice.
Yes. You don't have to know how to read the caliper.
Right. That's the real problem. Dial that little thing around and go +1, +2, +3. You got to count.
5/8 -6 3/16.
Yeah.
I have 2 vernier calibers, one in metric and one that can do inches. And I swapped out the one I have now that can do inches for an old one, and I gave it away to someone. Hey, you need one? Yeah, here you go. And then I started using my new one, and then I found out it won't do the fractions.
Oh shit!
That's what I said, because I just gave away the one that'll tell me fractions.
Right.
So it'll say 0.75 of an inch.
3/4. That's an easy one. It's when you get out to the 3 or 4 digits, you're like, oh God. That's when you got to go to Google and say, what's the fractional equivalent of XYZ or whatnot?
Exactly.
Metric's pretty simple. What's half of 20?
That's right. Yeah. That's why I regret that we didn't do the switch over there.
Yeah.
Thanks, Brett. Take care. Yeah, it's I mean, it's taken me 10 years to get comfortable with inches and fractions. It's not something I have been trained to relate to.
I bought some cheap calipers like this that are in thousands of inches.
Yeah, for lawnmowers, scooters, and stuff, they work fantastic. You don't need the big calibrated every year type of deal.
Right.
Feeler gauges and a plastic caliper. You're gone. You're done.
Yep. I had a thing with a little lawnmower I was working on that was just a lost cause, and I had Hank and Kenny on the line on our breakfast chat, and I could see Hank was sitting there. He was getting a little, and I was talking about measuring compression and all that. He goes, "Just put your finger over the hole and see if it's got compression."
Does it go puff?
And it does. Then it's got compression. Next. That was so funny.
Put the plug in and spin the mower backwards, and if it goes, it's good.
It actually had bad magnets in the flywheel. Yeah. And that little machine needed other stuff too, so it just wasn't worth it, unfortunately.
The less it's worth, the more time you put into it.
I mean, I reserve that for projects. I sometimes do projects. I mean, I have the most expensive aluminum deck, 25-year-old push mower with a Briggs Classic in my whole country. I mean, that thing is $1,000 easy, with all the epoxy paint and the parts and it's just
your time. And your time.
I don't even count that.
Well, I've got that wonderful old Jacobson aluminum deck classic Briggs. That thing is just crazy wonderful.
It is.
The engine's getting tired.
I mean, this one here, I was lucky. There was no measurable wear with the tools I have. Measurable wear on the crankshaft or anything, and it got a hone, a new set of rings. That little thing just chucks along like it's brand new.
Pick up on the bar, Kenny.
I did. I got it underneath. I got it on top of something.
Oh, okay.
You guys should get married.
Whoa!
I think they are.
Oh, dear Lord. Where'd you go, Stella?
Her internet sucks.
Maybe she went pee-pee. You never know.
Yeah. Pee break. So did you see that? Michael Roberts said, did you know that it could interfere with a pacemaker?
It's a magnetic field and it's strong. So you got to be careful. I used to work in a company that does wind turbines, and they will actually freeze one part of an axle and keep the bearing with a big induction heater. And that induction heater,
I'll be right back.
You couldn't go near it. I mean, that it was fenced off, because if you have anything metal on you, or if you have a pacemaker,
Yeah.
So Kenny, are we oiling?
Yeah, we're all set. I gotta run it for a minute.
Are we oiling?
I'll tell you in a second. I'll take a piece of white paper and we'll see what it spits out.
Damn, that sweatshirt looks good on you, buddy.
Thing is so filthy. I still don't like the cover though. The cover is in such a way, if you tighten it too tight, the recoil gets stuck.
It's a Poulan. Sometimes I think that all the mistakes that the Husqvarna engineers did when they made saws, and gave it to Poulan.
You can see in the box, see the line of oil?
Yes,
there
sir.
you go. Yep.
All right.
Nice job.
Is that thing adjustable?
What?
Nope.
The oil or no?
Nope.
Okay.
Not on Poulans. No.
Job well done.
Yeah. Now throw it over to your neighbor and have him cut some wood.
Well, I still got to tune it, I think, but we'll see.
It sounded nice. It four-stroked a little bit at the beginning, but then
little bit of wood, huh?
Yeah.
Is that your house or your neighbor's house?
Neighbors.
No, my name. Hey, I'm messy, but I'm not this messy.
So
That's
did
been
you
there for
just
4
cut
weeks
it in that wood, or are you going to do that now for a load test?
Well, I'm going to try cutting a little piece right there. Can you see that piece right there?
Yep.
I might have to mute you because it was kind of
Loud.
It was kind of annoying the first time around.
Nice ass. Oh, sorry. Oh, you need some tuning, buddy.
Either it needs more fuel or the chain is dull as hell.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yes.
I think you need some tuning there, Kenny.
Well, let me go get my screw or my spline bar.
Single D or something.
That's how Poulan acts.
They
It don't
suck.
work.
They suck.
I'm looking at 2 Poulans right here on the ground.
Yeah,
They still suck.
that's where they belong, on the ground.
Yeah, I need to get rid of them. They're both part saws now. Well, one of them will actually kind of work, but it doesn't work well. It'll never run right.
No.
And the other one, unfortunately, belongs to a friend of mine who brought it to me. I fixed it, and he says,
Good one, David. Good one.
"Yeah." I said, "No, he still won't pick it up." And I asked him about it. Why? He says, "Oh, you still have that thing?" Yes. You were going to bring me money and pick it up, you jerk.
Yeah.
So it's a part saw, though I can't take parts off of one to fix the other. One of them is like 25 or 30 years old, and the other one is like 10 or 15 years old. So nothing.
I will say I had I don't know if that's a positive experience, but we have a brand over here called Stiga, which is fairly big. It's the AYP of Europe.
Right.
And I just did a saw that one of my neighbors, and it's a cheapo. It's a $200 saw. It's cheap in which way. It's Poulan style, but I will say it did behave nicely. I mean, it's got a Walbro carburetor. Oh, sorry.
See? It goes by its name, Poulan, Poulan, Poulan.
Well, I turned out the high a quarter turn.
Should still go.
Turned it out. It was 4-stroking. You want to turn it in.
Watch yourself. Never drop a song.
I can't do that. I'm not big and strong enough.
I can, and my arm hurts.
Yeah.
I do it.
Both of my arms were aching yesterday from laying on my back and doing this stuff all day. All under the van.
Kenny is still on his Wi-Fi, and it's a little crappy across the street.
Sounds good.
Don't try this at home.
And whatever earpiece he's wearing tends to block out the sound sometimes too.
It's like my first video.
Sounds like a bad plug.
13 years ago.
It sounds
for
exactly
you,
like
man.
it sounds exactly like a Poulan with a dull chain.
Yeah. 26 PC.
It's a crappy saw.
Now I remember why I hate those things.
Yes, sir.
Oh,
It is.
Poulan Pro is okay. The Poulans are poor, but those are fair.
I will say, if you can afford a Poulan Pro, you can afford a Husqvarna. Yeah, lots of RPM, no power.
Chinesium Carb. It's not reacting.
No.
Yeah, it's a Chinesium carburetor. I go to give it a little fuel to RPM. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This Chinesium crap.
Yep.
Look at how I have to read.
Bruce, are your eyes settling in after the?
Almost.
Nah, no power.
Fogging up.
Nah, this carburetor sucks. Nah, seriously, this car it won't take a tune.
Did the customer put that carb on?
No, the guy he bought it from, but he didn't see it running.
Ah. Yeah, that sucks.
Is it a generic carb like a C1Q or something like that?
I think I have an OEM carb for this.
It don't run for this shit, but I mean, it oil's good.
It oil's great.
The this carburetor's junk. It's a brand new Chinesium. You can tell.
Hey, I'm telling you. Well, guys, I got to go weed a garden.
Why?
Yeah, I do too, and I've been saying that for weeks.
Mrs. P did half, and I'm going to do the other half.
Well, I said,
I'm pulling double duty these days. I'm doing my neighbor's lawn as well.
So we have separated skills, and then we meet in the garden.
Yeah.
Well, I've been doing that because I don't have a lot of grass to mow my own. So when I fix a mower, I got to mow something. So I usually mow my neighbor's yard.
So anyway, the oil's good. That's working, but that carburetor's just trash. It's garbage.
Yeah.
And I can tell it never been run because the carb's like brand spanking new.
Do you know what kind of carb it looks like? Is it something standard or
the same a carb? But the thing is, this one here, Chinesium, it has no. I think I may have it in stock. But a factory carburetor is only, what is it, $38? I mean, it's not that much.
No.
So,
I mean, if you can get it to deliver on the high end, because it revs up nice, but it just runs out of power.
Yeah. Anyway. All right.
So, David, what kind of endoscope did you buy that it's not the right one? It doesn't go through the carburetor on a chainsaw?
Well, depends on the size head you want.
Yeah.
You got to get the one that's like a, 3.9 millimeter, I think?
Yeah.
3.2 millimeter or something like that.
He said, still not right, but closer. I don't know what he meant.
Well, I can't get the one I have into like a 10 millimeter spark plug on some of the smaller stuff. I can't get it fit in those. The one I have, I just have a really old one. So
yeah, that's a big head on that.
Yeah. The old one I have is, I don't know, from 30 years ago, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
They don't make them anymore.
Maybe it's time for a new one, huh, Stella?
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, here's my old one.
Oh, yeah. Oof. Snap-on yet, huh? Wow.
Yeah, I bought it used off of eBay, and the guy that sent it to me had an extra one of the camera units, so I got that from him too, because it's a good thing, because like the second time I used it, I like put it into a scooter, and I didn't realize it, but I pushed it right through to the exhaust port.
Oh.
And I kicked it over and basically sliced the camera right off the end.
Yeah.
It's a good thing I bought two of those guys.
I guess.
That's the day you became bilingual.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was, I don't know. I want to say I probably paid like $300 for it or something 25 years ago or 20 years ago, which is not too bad.
Now you can buy them for $25 each.
I know.
Yeah, for a bit now.
Yeah.
Oh, there's my thing. I'll be right back.
Your thing.
Your
Yeah.
thing.
Your thing beeps like that?
What was he beeping there?
I don't know. Where did Kenny go? Dark.
I don't know. I think Kenny's Wi-Fi went down.
Yeah.
Oh,
S&G.
David just got an articulating endoscope. Ooh, nice.
But he says the wrong one, though.
Yeah. It's still not great.
I have the one with a really small head, but it's got a lens in the front, like they all do. But then it's got a lens on each side.
Right.
So you can stick it down, and then you can see almost 360. Not 360, but almost. You just have to turn it like that to see everything. So that's kind of nice, and you can take pictures and store them.
Yeah, this one does pictures and video, but it's like, I don't know, 320 by whatever.
Slightly grainy.
Yeah, very grainy. And I've put it in some of my videos before, and but it's enough to see what you're doing. If all you're looking for is a scored piston or something, you can figure that out.
Yeah.
TikTok sells stuff like that? Dave.
Yeah.
I think people who have TikTok shops, I think they can sell stuff like that, but I don't think TikTok is selling it. I think it's people that do TikTok do that.
Yeah.
I got mine from Vivor. It's okay. It I will say it resolution is pretty good, and it's in color.
Yeah.
Well, someone reached out to me to do that, to do a review on it. Of course, they said, we'd like to send you one for free. And of course, it's the cheapest one with the biggest camera. And I'm like, no, unless you're going to send me the $300 one or whatever it is, I'm not going to work with you there. So
yeah. Vivor got Temu.
What's that?
Said Vivor buys them from Temu and puts their name on it.
Could be. Now, I will say, I mean, in all fairness, Vivor is not the cheapest site to buy stuff from, but everything I have gotten from them works perfect in a do-it-yourself shop like mine. It really does.
Yeah,
I mean,
for the most part, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, do I expect it to last 10 years? No, I don't.
No.
But I mean, the endoscope, that little heater. I got that plastic welder, the one that puts the little inserts that gets red hot.
Little staples, you mean? Like little ding, ding, ding? Yeah.
Yeah. Works absolutely like a charm.
Yeah.
I got a metal cutoff saw, with a tooth blade that runs slow.
Carbide tooth, yeah.
Yeah, it throws chips out everywhere. I have a big neodyme, what do you call it? Neodyme magnet. That one. That I have to catch all these chips because
the oil still gets all over the place.
What's that, Kenny?
The oil still gets all over the place.
I know,
absolutely.
It's a Poulan. It does that.
That's all. Whatever, but the oil's great, but it's just oil's and oil.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Did you find a carburetor?
No, I got it somewhere in my collection. I got to look for it.
Uh-oh. That means in the back of the shop.
No.
So here's how my customers are. The lady, I said, well, it's going to be an extra $40 with this blade adapter. She goes, okay, no problem. Oh, and by the way, do you have an older lawnmower that I want to buy for my renter? I went, you bet. I got 6 of them. That's nice.
Nice.
Good one.
So yeah, that's how my customers are now. They're usually all very nice.
Bruce, it's because you scared the shitheads away.
Yeah.
Now you only have the nice ones. Jason could take a lesson here.
Yep.
Because it looks like he gets some of the worst ones.
Kenny, next time Poulan comes in, tell him go buy a new chainsaw.
Well, if I knew I was going to look at this, I would have said no, don't.
Yeah.
But you can tell too, the chain's dull. There's a lot of dust in here too.
Yeah. And then you're in so deep, you got to go and finish it.
But see, that's exactly the thing with Poulan, is that the amount of time you spend on it is double of a quality saw.
Oh, for sure.
And it's still a crappy saw. Once you've done all your tricks in the book, you've done everything right, it's still a crappy saw.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no getting around it.
No, what I was saying before, that Stiga brand chainsaw I was doing, do you know when you get a chainsaw in your hand and it actually feels right?
Right.
Yeah.
And that little cheapo saw felt better than the one Kenny is working on right now. Everything is stiff, everything is tight.
Yeah.
It runs whatever little 35 or 40 cc engine. But the blade isn't too big, so it's still got power. It runs great. And
I've got a little old, probably a 30-year-old Homelite Super 2, the little red ones. And you're right, Klaus. As soon as you pick it up, you know it's going to start. I don't even know if you're communicating it with some kind of inanimate object or something.
Yeah, and it's and the guy who has this, he's not technically inclined. He's really not. He's my next door neighbor, and it comes in. He says it's like when it goes full tilt and I cut into wood, it just dies. Okay, I'll look at it. Comes in, the whole air filter assembly is not there.
Oh, nice.
It's like, let me take the muffler off for a second.
Right.
But it had taken, apparently either he was lucky or he hasn't used it a whole lot. It hasn't taken any damage. Full compression, no scoring, none.
Well,
But
he just hadn't gone that long with it. It would have eventually happened. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it would. And it's one of those that runs 40 to 1. It has to run 40 to 1. It can't run 50 to 1. And I told him, and he said, well, what do I do? I said, you buy one of these. And I have a 40 to 1 can. And I tuned it up. I checked it. I changed the filters. That's the one with a Walbro carburetor and a Walbro pickup fuel filter. So I replaced full filter, checked the carb, everything, got the new assembly, air filter assembly put on. Little thing runs like a charm. And it's a $200 saw. A little less, actually. I mean, I don't know what they're doing, but in China they have different factories for chainsaws.
Well, I think there is some quality stuff there, but I think it's so much hit and miss that you could order the same part from the same supplier 6 months from now, and it'll be a piece of garbage.
But look at the MS 170. I think, is that it? It's made in China, and it actually feels like a good little saw, right?
Yeah. It is. I mean,
except that you can't adjust the carburetor.
Nope.
Probably.
No, you can't. But can you cut down big trees with it? No, not if you want it for a long time.
No, man, it's
a
limbing saw.
Yep, it is. If you use it what it's designed for, no problem.
It's a good little saw. Yeah.
I had an old 017 or 018. I donated it to Ukraine last year. They needed something to cut firewood or something. I donated it, but it doesn't matter. It was a little saw. I never done anything to it. I bought it non-running because it didn't have any fuel in it. So I put fuel in it and it started up and the little thing ran, and I've been cutting hedges with it, and I put a new blade, a new bar on it and a new chain. But other than that, it's a nice little saw for around the yard.
I still use a corded 110 volt saw.
No, but
That's-
I mean, those things are great too. I have two cordless, batteries.
Yeah.
Saws, and those are a different beast. That you should try them one day, Bruce.
I have. Yeah. My buddy's got a Makita.
Yeah, chain speed is lower, but torque is high. But torque is higher.
And when I use those little electric ones, battery or AC, you don't realize how much noise that chain and the grinder and the little engine makes.
Oh yeah,
It's like sounds awful.
I did a video on.
This is my chainsaw.
Yeah, nice one. Nice. Yeah,
That's exactly right.
That thing will run.
Off.
Yeah. I did a video on.
1999.
There you go.
Still running
like that
great.
anymore.
It is a little hard on the brushes though. Those things, but other than that,
Well, I bought
I
mine.
don't use it a lot.
No, I brought mine from it's like a what do you call it? Your tractor tire show or something. And it was a defect. I think what happened was the person used it once and then returned it. And then they resold it for like $50, and I bought it for $50 20 years ago, just like you, Stella. And it's been great. I also have I've got 4 or 5 of them. You guys know that.
Yep.
I got 2 of those.
I bought this in 1999 when a hurricane went through, and a big old tree limb fell out of my tree into the street. So I was like, oh, so I cleaned all that up and got it out of the way because it was in my yard making a mess. And then 6 months later, the tree fell on my house in another hurricane. So I was like homeless for 6 months. And I actually had this in my living room. And of course, all the rain came in. It got flooded with water. And the insurance company wrote me a check for it. So
Nice.
I let it dry out and it still runs great.
Best
Cool.
one.
Well, I guess I better go. I guess I better get going on weeding.
Yep. It's been 2 hours and 2 minutes already.
Yeah.
We call it the Garden of Weeding.
That's right.
What time? We?
Go, Ken.
2 hours, 2 minutes.
All right, we're gonna end it. So, those that saw
You're right, Al.
the oil pump was successful, but with that Chinesium carburetor, no, it wasn't even reacting, and it's hard starting, and whatever. Anyway, thanks to everybody for coming by.
Are we gonna? I'm sorry, Kenny. Next weekend, are we gonna see you replace the carb? We want closure.
Yeah, let's see how it looks next week. But, I'm busy as hell. I got so much stuff going on right now.
Yeah, I know.
You know, it's mowing time. Everybody's mowing. So
I'm even busy now.
see that?
The snow melted. I planted my nasturtium seeds this week way early because if there's a frost, if they come up, they're very, very delicate. So I'm going to have to really watch it.
Yeah. Anyway, thanks to everyone who joined. We will see you guys next week.
Take
All right.
care.
Take care, everybody. Take care, everybody.
If you're listening,